worldly wealth, and is Kama, pleasure or sensual gratification, and who has regard to the customs of the people, is sure to obtain the mastery over his senses. In short, an intelligent and knowing person attending to Dharma and Artha and also to Kama, without becoming the slave of his passions, will obtain success in everything that he may do." End quote. It is impossible to fix the exact date either of the life of Vatsyayana or of his work. It is supposed that he must have lived between the 1st and the 6th centuries of the Christian era on the following grounds. He mentions that Satkarni Sritvahan, a king of Kuntal, killed Malayavati his wife with an instrument called Kartari by striking her in the passion of love, and Vatsya quotes this case to warn people of the danger arising from some old customs of striking women when under the influence of this passion. Now this king of Kuntal is believed to have lived and reigned during the 1st century A.C., and consequently Vatsya must have lived after him. On the other hand, Virahamihira, in the 18th chapter of his Brihat Sanhita, treats of the science of love, and appears to have borrowed largely from Vatsyayana on the subject. Now Virahamihira is said to have lived during the 6th century A.D., and as Vatsya must have written his works previously, therefore not earlier than the 1st century A.C. and not later than the 6th century A.D., must be considered as the approximate date of his existence. On the text of the Aphorisms on Love by Vatsyayana, only 2 commentaries have been found, one called Jayamangla or Sutra Bhashya, and the other Sutra Vritti. The date of the Jayamangla is fixed between the 10th and 13th centuries A.D., because while treating of the 64 arts an example is taken from the Kavya Prakashya, which was written about the 10th century A.D. Again, the copy of the commentary procured was evidently a transcript of a manuscript which once had a place in the library of a Chalukyan king named Vishaladeva, a fact elicited from the following sentence at the end of it. Quote, "Here ends the part relating to the art of love in the commentary on the Vatsyayana Kama Sutra, a copy from the library of the King of Kings, Vishaladeva, who was a powerful hero, as it were a second Arjuna, and head jewel of the Chalukya family." End quote. Now it is well known that this king ruled in Gujarat from 1244 to 1262 A.D. and founded a city called Visalnagur. The date, therefore, of the commentary is taken to be not earlier than the 10th and not later than the 13th century. The author of it is supposed to be one Yashodhara, the name given him by his preceptor being Indrapada. He seems to have written it during the time of affliction caused by his separation from a clever and shrewd woman. At least that is what he himself says at the end of each chapter. It is presumed that he called his work after the name of his absent mistress, or the word may have some connection with the meaning of her name. This commentary was most useful in explaining the true meaning of Vatsyayana, for the commentator appears to have had a considerable knowledge of the times of the older author, and gives in some places very minute information. This cannot be said of the other commentary, called Sutra Vritti, which was written about A.D. by Narsingh Shastri, a pupil of a Sarveshwar Shastri. The latter was a descendant of Bhaskar, and so also was our author, for at the conclusion of every part he calls himself Bhaskar Narsingh Shastra. He was induced to write the work by order of the learned Raja Vrijalala, while he was residing in Benares, but as to the merits of this commentary it does not deserve much commendation. In many cases the writer does not appear to have understood the meaning of the original author, and has changed the text in many places to fit in with his own explanations. A complete translation of the original work now follows. It has been prepared in complete accordance with the text of the manuscript, and is given, without further comments, as made from it. Part 1. The Vatsyayana Sutra. Introductory Preface. Salutation to Dharma, Artha, and Kama. In the beginning, the Lord of Beings created man and women, and in the form of commandments